Hello and welcome back to another certified OGCFM video. I've been collecting cars for quite some time now, and I truly have to say, sometimes even I lose the overview of what cars I really have. It's especially hard because I don't have one big garage where I store all my cars. So most of them are scattered all over the place, and some of them are even in a different continent. So join me on today's video where I'm gonna go through my whole car collection together with you guys. Enjoy.
Whoa.
Hello! Today's video is something that I wanted to do for a very long time, but I never really had the capacity to do so, because in today's video I'm going to try to show you my whole entire car collection. I've curated this collection over the past 7 or 8 years, and in my mind it's consisting of some of the best drivers' cars, some of the best cars that are the most fun to drive, because this is really what I'm looking for in most of the cars that I buy. They should be fun to drive, they should give you that huge smile on your face that you have when you're sitting in the car, just focusing on the road, focusing on the car itself. This is not quite an easy task for me because, as you may or may not know, my collection is pretty much spread across the whole world. Because I have some cars here in Europe and also some cars in America. So in today's video we're gonna try to teleport all over the world to show you my true collection. And the reason why we can only do this now is because most of the times, always one of my cars has been at a workshop. So this is actually the first time in my life ever that all of my cars, like most of them at least, are not in a workshop, but are actually stored in a garage somewhere. I honestly think this video is long overdue because even I sometimes have a hard time keeping track of all my cars. And I think for you guys it must be even harder because you don't really know what's been going on all the time. There's a few cars that are still secret, so I'm not gonna show them. I think it's 3 cars that I can't show you guys yet because we haven't revealed them yet on the channel. But apart from that, I can show you everything and anything. I'm gonna try to explain something to each car. I'm gonna give you guys a price so you can kind of understand what this car is worth, and yeah, maybe a little backstory to some of the cars. Let's go, and let's start here in my showroom, which is pretty much the place that you see the most frequent. As you can see behind me is already one very important car to me, which is my Evo 5 RS. Okay. This car is currently obviously not drivable, at least that's what this piece of here says. This is my Evo 5 RS. I absolutely love this vehicle. It is one of only around 20 left-hand drive Evo 5 RS in Europe, and I think in the whole world actually. So this car is actually incredibly rare because most of them have been converted to left-hand drive. Mine was one of the few that has been left-hand drive ever since the start of the production of the car. 1998, the Evo 5 RS versions have only been issued to rally teams. So at one point this car was owned by a rally team, and most of them have been converted to rally cars. Mine was pretty much stock when I bought it, and we did quite some modifications, as you can see. The car is currently sitting on KW V3 suspension. We upgraded the whole engine. I'm gonna show you that really quick. It's not the most beautiful engine bay. This car still needs a little bit of love. Yeah, this is what my Evo 5 RS engine bay looks like. It's pretty much the normal Mitsubishi Evo engine, but we have upgraded internals and also Evo 9 upgrade turbocharger. So this engine should be making around 380 horsepower maybe. It's nothing too crazy, but
it feels crazy.
Yeah, like Cindy says, the car doesn't need more power. The good thing about the Evo, especially this 5 RS, is that it has a very short gearbox. Very short gearbox, so the car feels incredibly fast, but at the same time, top speed of the car is limited to around 200 kilometers per hour, which is not very fast. We have the wheels from the RS4 B5 on it right now, which I think it actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Interior, yeah. Oh, birthday gift from Diego.
And for me.
Stimmt, Entschuldigung. Interior, we cover pole positions, we stripped the whole interior, which is honestly stupid, and I really want to have at least the carpet inside the car again because it's so incredibly loud to drive, and also the cage is pretty annoying, so we're gonna have to take care of that eventually. But apart from that, I love this car.
Yeah.
I actually bought it for a very good price. Back in 2019, I bought this car for 38,000 euros, which is an insanely good price. There's one for sale right now in Austria for 110,000 euros. So this car has been going through the roof all the years. So I think I did the right choice with that one. Up here you can see a car that I wanted for a very long time. bought it last summer, so summer of 2024. I bought it just for me to enjoy, and I drove it a few months without showing you guys, and then I revealed it in autumn in the video where we took it out in the snow. It's an E34 M5. In my opinion, one of the best looking BMWs they've ever created. I like it more than the E30 because it looks, I don't know, the proportions are better. The E30 has such huge windows, and with this car, I don't know, it kind of looks better in my opinion. It's very, very beautiful. If you give me that really quick. I like the front of the car quite a lot, and it also matches the Evo kind of perfectly. Also the wheels are sick. Everything else, the car is pretty much completely stock, and the color is actually not black. It's like this really dark red. I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard to pick up in a video. I can guarantee you this car is completely, it's like sparkly red. Yeah, it's a really beautiful color. Interior, same as the car itself, completely stock. I wish you guys could smell it because in here it smells like a leather factory. I love the smell of old BMWs. It smells so sweet, really cool. We have big plans for this car, so it's gonna be a cool project in the future. Apart from that, it's only looking beautiful in my showroom right now. So this car was around 30,000 euros, and I guess it's pretty much still the same price. Yeah, 3.6 liter, doesn't really matter for what we have planned with it. Speaking of cars that are just standing around, this is Mani's Golf. Mani bought it actually a pretty long time ago, and the car is only like a showpiece, so most of the time it's just standing around, not really being moved, but it looks pretty sick. It's an air suspension, it got some special wheels on it. It's turbocharged, producing around 300 horsepower, so not too much, but it's always been a dream car of Mani, I think. And yeah, he never really wants to get rid of it, which I understand. Inside here, some souvenirs, whatever. I think Mani bought this car for like 12,000 a few years ago. I don't know how much it's worth right now. Pretty much probably the same. But yeah, let's go to the main garage. Over here we have some mopeds for some reason. I don't really know. I bought this at the auction. Footy. Pretty nice. I love the showroom. I love how it's like set up right now. I think it's really sick. If we walk over here, you can see some of the cars already, because we have all the JDM cars of my collection combined here. I thought it would be cool to show you guys them all at one point. Yeah, let's start with this. This is my 1000 horsepower 8 HP Supra. This car I bought 2020. I bought the Supra actually for, I think back then it was like 70,000 euros. But yeah, obviously the car has undergone some major changes ever since then. Interior, we have some bucket seats, we have a roll cage and everything. Pretty nice setup. I don't really like this. This previous owner did this like weird, I don't even know what it's called, but it's just putting like, das fuselt einfach überall. Also das heißt, überall, du sitzt einmal im Auto, ist die Fussel überall drin. Here you can see 8 HP swap, which was done by MPS Engineering from Germany. This car was in the workshop so long that I at one point forgot I had this car. But I have to say, now that it's back, I love it. It's such a cool car and it looks so good. You wouldn't really know that this car is from the 90s if you look at it from the front, because it looks so modern. So this is what a 1000 horsepower 2JZ looks like. A few years ago this was crazy. Now it's pretty much normal to have 1000 horsepower 2JZ, I guess. Huge turbocharger, wastegate to the roof. Yeah, we need to clean it up a little bit. This car has been through some stuff already, so excuse the condition it's in right now. We still have the winter tires from when we took it to St. Moritz. That's it with the Supra. Engine, obviously, all the interior stuff of the engine has been done, so pistons and everything, it's been reinforced. I just bought the engine as it is from MPS, so he basically offers these 1000 horsepower kits for the 2JZ, and then he mated it to the 8 HP because I thought it would be a cool idea. And honestly, I have to say it drives amazing, except for the suspension. We need to upgrade that. This is what the car looks from behind. I'm not a huge fan from the... Yeah, okay, so should think it's geil. In here we have all the parts, by the way, in case you were wondering. And this brings us over to the R34 GTR. R34 GTR V-Spec 2, and honestly this car has always been a dream car of me, and I bought it in the same year as the Supra. So 2020 I bought first the R34 GTR and then I bought the Supra. If I would have done YouTube back then, it would have been a pretty good year, I guess, but yeah, started YouTube in 2022, so 2 years too late. Anyway, R34 GTR, I bought this car and it was in absolute horrible condition for 140,000 euros. And then I spent a shitload of money to make it as beautiful as it is right now. The only thing that's still fucked is the front lip and the front bumper from Finland. But apart from that, this car is pretty much like new. We had the car completely stripped and repainted, and everything on the car has been done new. If you don't believe me, watch my restoration video. The car literally looks like new R34. Also from the inside, we still need to figure out the wiring issue. But apart from that, this car is in absolute amazing condition, and it's sequential transmission. So PPG, sequential transmission, single turbo R34. Let me show you guys the engine bay really quick. So single turbo RB26 stroker, so theoretically RB28. Pretty much one of the best sounding cars I own. Obviously all the internals of the engine have been rebuilt and reinforced, and then we have a nice single turbo setup going on. So the classic R34 setup, producing around 750 horsepower, I would say. This was really expensive, by the way, strut brace, for some reason. I had a time where I bought like many like original JDM parts for the R34, including the wing raises in the back, this here, so the strut brace, and this part here, which is basically now absolutely shitty condition. It was so incredibly expensive, you wouldn't even believe it. So there's a few things that we still need to do to the car to make it beautiful again. We need to paint the front bumper again, and we need to fix that. It happened when I crashed the car in Finland. That's also why the car is still on spikes and so high. Normally for the street setup, the car would be a bit lower, but still, I think it looks absolutely good. And like I said, probably the best sounding car I own, and also probably one of the most expensive cars I own. There's only one car that I think comes close to the numbers that this car is probably able to fetch if I would sell it. Like I said a million times before, somebody offered me 300,000 euros for this car and I didn't sell it. I actually think it's worth more because of the taxes here in Austria and everything. But like I said, dream car of me, I would never sell this car. And I have to say, it looks so beautiful. Moving on to the next GTR, which you guys saw already, my R35 GTR. We actually took the time to start the rebuild process a little bit, because this car, as you may or may not know, has been through so much stuff already. You can't even believe it. This car has seen more places than some people, and it kind of shows. We needed to replace the front bumper after the last event because I lost it, and we also needed to replace the rear bumper. So this car is sitting without front and rear bumper right now, but I still think it looks absolutely amazing. We took the wrap off. The car was wrapped white. Now in black, it looks so cool. It needs a polish though, but with these wheels as well, I think it's such a good looking car, and I honestly love this car again. You know, after the last event, the car was actually in a really miserable state, but now looking at it like this, it's so nice. I'm actually so happy to have this car, and this car, like I said, it's been through so much. I've put 50,000 kilometers on the car already. First engine, first transmission, everything's been holding up. The car's pushing around 900 horsepower, so it's not slow either. You can drift it, you can take it to the snow, you can take it to the racetrack, you can do anything with it. You can daily drive it. This car has been to Monaco, this car has been to Northern Europe, so Sweden and Finland multiple times. This car has been to the Sahara Desert. This car has been to Eastern Europe. This car has seen so many places, and it's always been holding up great. Never let me down once. I absolutely love this car, and it's honestly a marvel of engineering. But yeah, like I said, we are currently rebuilding it because it needs new front and rear bumper, and the underside needs to be basically painted new. The chassis itself, it's still in very good condition, so there's no rust on the chassis. There's only some rust on like the axles and stuff, so nothing too bad. Inside, also pretty standard, so just some car bucket seats and the Nismo steering wheel, but I like it this way. It's pretty cool. Engine also needs to be, well, not rebuilt, but at least cleaned. I actually did an engine service not long ago, so the engine should be good. Transmission needs to be serviced, and then, like I said, the underside and the front and rear bumper. Then this car should be beautiful and good again. I bought this car in 2018 for around 150,000 euros with the car and the engine upgrades already. So the engine is upgraded. We have bigger turbochargers, so they're still stock size, but they are made bigger. I don't know what to say in English. Obviously, the internals of the engine have been modified to hold the power and everything. And then obviously, most importantly, I upgraded the gearbox to straight cut gears so it can hold the power without braking, because like the main weak point of the GTRs is always the gearbox braking. I absolutely love it now with the black and the silver wheels. It looks so sick. This is it for this location. So I would say let's teleport over to Mani and Gabriel to the next location to show you guys some more of my cars. Yeah, as you can see, I may not really make the smartest financial decisions sometimes, But one thing I do know is how to invest my money properly and the easiest and quickest way possible, which is Trade Republic, the sponsor of today's video. Trade Republic is probably the easiest, smartest and safest way on how to spend your money, save your money and how to invest your money. Trade Republic does not only serve the purpose of a traditional bank account, but most importantly, investing has never been easier. Because within a few clicks, you can invest your money in whatever stocks you want. Not only that, you can also invest into Bitcoin. But that's not all. Trade Republic also gives you probably the fanciest way on how to spend your money in real life, which is the Trade Republic Mirror Card. And I have to say, it's probably the coolest bank card known to mankind currently. And another nice little feature, Trade Republic basically gives you interest on your money that is in your bank account uninvested every month. It is currently set to 2.5% yearly, which means for every month that you have your money in your bank account, you get 2.5% interest charges, which is not a bad thing if you ask me. It is up to 50,000 euros and the percentage may vary depending on the European Central Bank. If you also want to make bad financial decisions like me, but still feel good about yourself, use Trade Republic. Link is down in the bio below. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, welcome to the OG garage, the garage that you all know and love. And here are quite a few cars already. It's not the fullest it's ever been, but we definitely have quite an interesting lineup here in this garage. First of all, we have my lovely little trailer. This trailer has been to more places than some cars. This trailer has literally been to Africa, so it's crazy, you know. And we're gonna start with the first car here, which is my lovely RS4 B5. You guys have seen this car. We bought it in France, well, pretty much end of last year, end of 2024, and the car was not in the best condition. We made it a new car. The interior, everything, it's basically brand new. We wrapped the car, we put on the classic OZ Ultra wheels, which was a recommendation from Mani. Like pretty much the whole car was a recommendation from Mani. There's not much to say about the car itself. The only thing that is pretty much done to it is we did a little software upgrade on the engine, but the engine is completely stock. And we did a little coilover setup, which the car now has Bilstein. Bilstein, yeah. B16 coilovers.
Bilstone.
We have some RS4 B7 brakes, which is also classic B5 upgrade. Like pretty much most of them have it. Like I said, the inside we pretty much did little renewal because the seats were in a pretty bad condition. Alcantara steering wheel, Alcantara shift knob, everything else. The car is pretty much stock, which I like. I like cars that are like OEM plus, which this car pretty much is.
We changed the mirrors.
Mani basically looked for all the used RS4 parts online, like the grille and everything, to get it back into original shape. Because the
this is new, the grille is new, the mirrors are new, everything is new. What makes
the idea was to basically just get the perfect RS4 B5, like from factory, and I think we did a pretty good job because the car is actually in an immaculate condition, no rust anywhere. I really love this car. I wanted to sell it after winter, but I still have it because I like it so much. I think it's a cool day driver.
It looks very cool now.
Yeah, I love it. This car was around 30,000 something or 34,000 something. Now with the Austrian tax and with all the stuff we've done to it, I would think it's probably worth around 45 to 50,000. Let's say 50,000, just to give me a good feeling about it in Austria. I mean, the car really is in a good condition. It's really going to be hard to find a similar one. Low mileage, 140,000 kilometers here in the area. Little jewel, Audi jewel. E55. This car is also not really much to say about it right now because the car is pretty much stock. We're gonna start working on it pretty soon. We're still waiting for some parts. They're actually from Russia. That's why it takes so long. Like I said, I bought this car a few months ago now. It was pretty much the cheapest AMG I could find. The only thing we did to it so far, little teaser for the video, we fucked up the belt. And we made the headliner black, which why the car smells like a little Kunstunterricht. Autotech. We just used black paint and painted the roof black.
War ich sehr bis aussah. Das passt.
I think it's a pretty cool car. It's very underrated, I think. The engine has a lot of potential. We're still gonna have to figure out a way how to get this car a bit more sporty because as you saw a few weeks ago when we did the first little test drive, this car is not the sportiest of them all. It's like gonna be a cool summer cruiser and I honestly can't wait to build this car because there's lots of potential to be unleashed from this glorious engine. This was around 20,000 euros in Austria. I hope after we get done with it, it's going to be worth more because we're going to do some pretty cool things with it. But we're going to see how that turns out. Yeah, which brings us to the BMW collection, or at least part of the BMW collection. Like I said, it's a bit tricky to film this video because my cars are scattered literally around the world. Anyway, let's start with the newest one first, which is my F80. This car has always been a dream of me ever since I sold it 8 years ago. I have pretty much exactly the same car, only with the white interior. So yeah, it was time to get one.
It sounds a little bit weird, my F80. It sounds new.
Strange.
Yeah, strange, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this car. Fucked up a little bit already when we did the first little test drive. But this car is going to be pretty much, I think, one of the most insane cars of the collection. It's going to be built with one thing in mind, and that's just to have fun, which is a very good base. F80 M3s are probably the most fun BMWs you can currently buy, which is why I love these cars so much. And I think they look absolutely amazing, and they have the potential to be also very good sounding, which we're going to do, hopefully, very soon. Really also not really much to say about this car, because it is, as you can see, pretty much completely stock.
Yeah, it's stock.
The only thing, there's some Alibaba aftermarket parts on there.
Yeah.
We have the cloth seats, which is very cheap, but we're gonna throw them out anyway, so fuck it. Apart from that, Alcantara steering wheel, more Alibaba parts still, and hopefully pretty soon after this video we're gonna start doing the makeover. Yeah, this I think in Austria, well I can say I bought it for like 60k in Austria. This is what the car is probably worth right now in Austria. Let's get on to probably the most weird car of the collection, Audi. We bought this car last year in the springtime. It was 2,000 euros. It was the cheapest E36 in Latvia. We flew to Latvia, bought the car, I crashed it there, we drifted some more, brought it to Austria, crashed it in Austria, and then we built it as a drift car, which kind of took very dramatic turns. The car is actually undrivable on the streets anymore. We have a new shell for Audi already. I bought another E36, so we're gonna eventually swap all the parts from this car to another shell, because this shell is absolutely really disgusting. The underside, you can literally, if you lift up the floor mats, you can look onto the floor. Yeah. So I think it's time to get the new shell. In the technical aspect, Audi is actually in really good condition. And we have a M50 turbo engine in here, which actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think. Nice. Engine pushes around 700 horsepower. This engine and the whole drivetrain definitely deserves a good chassis, which I hope we bought. I hope we bought the right one. I haven't seen it yet. David has to pick it up one day. This has cost a lot of blood, sweat and tears, mostly from Gabriel.
And money.
Yeah.
It was very expensive.
For a 2,000 euro car, I think the whole build honestly was like 40k.
Yeah, something like that.
For a 2,000 euro car, that's quite insane. Wide step kit in the front, which is pretty cool. Got special brakes and everything if you look here. The wheels are also pretty sick, but I think they're not going to stay on 80.
We have some
because we have
other
some
plans.
Clearance issues here with the wide step kit. We didn't really think it's going to be that way. Inside, pretty much stock. Bit disgusting, but yeah. And this brings us to probably the best sounding BMW I currently own, which is my lovely E90 M3. Also the car that I owned for pretty much the longest time. I bought this car like 4 or 5 years ago actually.
Something like that,
Pretty long ago. And it's absolutely sick. I love this car so much. Steinschläge mal bei von unserem letzten Ausflug.
Yeah.
Ja, ich glaube auch an der Tiere. Anyway, the car itself, very nicely modified, very, very good. Interior, as you can see, we have the M Performance seats, non-folding M Performance seats, very, very rare. These seats alone are like 8,000 euros, crazy, because they can't fold. They're only for the E90. Alcantara steering wheel, Alcantara shift knob from the F80 M3. Pretty cool setup. ST suspension coilovers in the front.
The brakes are also from an F82. Yeah. Oh, F80? Yeah.
F82.
Yeah, F model. Yeah.
And then under the hood we have the ESS supercharger and the completely built engine, which is theoretically supposed to stand around 1,000 horsepower. But yeah, we made thing like 800 on the dyno.
Yeah.
So this car is seriously fast, at least for an E90 M3. Pretty cool. I like really much how the car sounds. Probably, like I said, one of the best sounding BMWs I have.
Yeah, you got the Savex.
Savex control unit,
yeah, exactly.
ECU, which makes it sound even better. I'm absolutely in love with this car.
Yeah.
I think I'm never going to sell it, honestly. The car itself, back when I bought it, was 70,000 euros. That's how expensive manual E90s are here in Austria. With all the mods and everything to it, I hope it's going to be more. Let's just say
100.
let's just say like 90,000 euros here in Austria. So beautiful. I love it. With the wheels and everything, it looks so sick.
Yeah.
And we also have an F80 M3 rear muffler because you asked me so many times about my the 84 liter channel. Yeah, because you guys asked me so.
Ja, sicher, das ist auch kosten.
F80 M3 rear muffler, for those of you who are interested. It works really well and it sounds actually amazing. Behind that is Alex's choice car. I don't know why it's still here. Alex, please pick up your car. I need space in my garage. I'm running out of space. So, with that, I think it's time to teleport to the next garage. Okay, we are now in the bottom of the top secret garage. Down here is my sister's AMG GTR. We have, in fact, actually still have the car because some of you guys actually asked me if we still have the car. Car is still here. And I mean, it's pretty much just a standard AMG GTR. Engine looks like that. She did downpipes, which is pretty cool. Car sounds actually pretty nice, I have to say. Even I, as a BMW lover, have to admit, it's a very good sounding car. Actually looks pretty cool. At first I didn't really like it in the green, but anyway, except for the downpipes and for the wastegates, it's pretty much a completely stock AMG GTR. I kind of like the car, but at the same time, it really drifts like shit, so I don't really drive it that often. And like I said, it's my sister's car. So let's go to the next mysterious place. Yeah, we are now somewhere in Europe in my top secret garage. And as you can see behind me, there is two of my cars. But before we go there, look at this beauty right here.
Das hat er ist.
Gute alte Bombe.
Was? Du kriegst das echt hier? Schon, das war geil.
Yeah, here we have my Dodge Viper ACR. Still the only one registered in Austria, so the only Viper ACR in Austria. I've always wanted to have an ACR ever since I was literally like 14 years old and they came out. I wanted to have an ACR and I've had this car for 4 years now. I blew up the engine once on a racetrack, but now the car is completely running again and it's actually so nice to drive. But I never really get the chance to drive it, to be honest. You know, you always have to think about, you know, the splitter and everything. It's so expensive to drive the car. That's the whole. Yeah, the car is pretty much completely stock. It cost me around 230,000 euros back when I bought it. And now there is one for sale in Austria for 400,000 euros. So they actually increased in price quite a lot. I don't know if this one will go for 400,000 as well, but it's definitely pretty close to that, I would guess. The only thing we did is we put some stickers on it, but I absolutely love how this car looks.
Yeah.
And yes, I say it again, the car is stock. Wings, the wing in the back,
Everything.
front lip, everything. This is how the car came from factory. This is pretty much the American equivalent to the GT3 RS. And in my opinion, it's even cooler than the GT3 RS because if you come with me real quick, it's actually manual transmission. And it's also the car with the most legroom I've ever sat in. You can literally sit like this in the car without any issues. Mani can sit like this, I can sit like this. It's insane. This car is so sick. This is the biggest engine they've ever put in a road-going car from the factory. 8.4 liter V10. Naturally aspirated, producing 650 horsepower and around 950 newton meters of torque. So this car moves quite a lot. And also, this car came from factory with the biggest tires I've ever seen, because here in the back we have good old 355 tires.
On 18 or 19.
355er Radl.
Ja, auf wie viel Zoll?
20 inches.
20 inch. In dem nächsten Gerät.
Honestly, I love this car. I don't really know what to do with it. Turbo would be nice. But I don't really know anyone in Europe who is capable of doing such a build. And I don't really trust ourselves to do it. We will have to see what to do with it. I'm definitely going to keep it. And underneath here, we have the second car that you guys keep asking me about. Many questions, because I don't drive it enough. You guys at least say that. This is my completely black
Oh, baby.
RS.
Oh, yeah. Das ist einmal ein Wagen. Hä? Oh, schon geil. Mag ich auch sehr gern. Muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen.
I actually haven't seen this car in quite some time. Last time I saw it was like,
A year ago.
yeah.
Ja.
Last time I drove it was a year ago. It's
Schon sehr geil.
It's a pretty cool car. Don't get me wrong. I don't drive it so often because honestly, it just doesn't give me the same kick as like an M3 or something. But it is still a cool car. I actually bought this car new, 2019, 6 years ago, pretty much. And this car was with all the taxes and everything, 350,000 euros in Austria. Thank you for that, Austrian government. Completely stock. Interior, nice PTS. Yeah, I spec'd the car myself, so don't ask me why I did this back then. And also, this is probably even worse. Didn't go for the carbon hood because I'm not a big fan of carbon, so I had the painted hood. Car is Weissach, so it has pretty much all the options that you can probably get. Pretty sick looking car. I like it a lot. Just don't really know what to do with it, honestly. I thought about selling it quite some times, but at the same time, it's just cool to have, and I don't really know what to trade it for.
Or maybe you trade it within the car.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what the best option would be, what you would suggest doing. Still have the car, still have the Viper. Both cars together, actually pretty cool combination.
Ja, so Firmenausflug war schon mal gleich.
Ja. Saint-Tropez.
Gern, voll GT3 und du Viper.
Unglaublich.
Oh, es war nett.
Anyway, let's go international. Let's go to the next spot. Hello! We have now teleported to wonderful South Carolina, US and A. We are going international right now. We're here at European Road and Racing, my second home, so to say, here in the US. And here we have not only one, not only two, but 2.5 of my cars standing. One of them, as you can see, is right behind me. It's the good old Ghetto M5 that we kind of used as a parts car. There's not really much to say about this car, except that it's probably the most
Ghetto.
M5 that you can imagine. And it's missing the side skirts, it's missing the window in the back, but apart from that, it's actually a fully functioning car. So in theory, you could jump in there and drive it if you're not afraid of having any sort of illnesses and unwanted insects in your
Yes.
Yes. If we look over here, we have my second Ghetto M5, which is my lovely E60 M5 manual. So you could only get those cars here in the US. That's why I bought one here. Bought it 2 years ago for like $20,000, which is an insanely good price. But then the problem started. Yeah, if you guys know the story of this car has been giving us a really, really big headache. And I think I'm like probably like $50,000 deep into this car right now at this point. But now at least it's working. It's not looking beautiful. Some minor issues still in the car. It needs to be cleaned, it needs to be polished. But technically it's in a... Ja, ist fein. Da ist passiert da hinten, da ist losgegangen.
Nein, der große hier.
Oh ja, der große da hinten. It kind of needs some love. The car is pretty much in like 6 different colors right now. So yeah, also the inside needs to be painted new. Or like, I don't know what we do here.
Yeah.
But yeah, technically, like I said, it's brand new. We have a brand new engine inside. Everything has been checked, everything's been good. But looks-wise, this car definitely needs to be refreshed. But I really love this car and it sounds absolutely fantastic. Engine-wise, as you can see, did a complete refresh. We have the good old glow-in-the-dark engine with the
baby.
Venturi carbon intake. This intake alone is very, very expensive, but Venturi was nice enough to sponsor it to me. Also, what I should probably say, I have a carbon roof. This is the first M5 E60 with a carbon roof. Things happened to the car, so we thought might as well just change the roof while we're at it because we needed to replace it for some reason. I don't know what happened. Engine looks absolutely fantastic and it sounds...
Yeah, it's so cool.
But stock engine, so not really much to talk about. On to the next car. We have my favorite M5, the E39. Pretty rare to say for me, but this car's in a good condition. It's actually in excellent condition.
Yeah.
Think about it. Beautiful white, really, really rare. There's actually only 100 white E39 M5s here in the US, and this is one of them. Like I said, pretty rare spec. We have gray seats. I really, really love this car. It's such a nice spec, and it's so nice to drive.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, this is Sean. I bought this car of Sean a while ago, last year.
Months, yeah.
A few months ago, not even a year ago. But yeah, I love it, and it's pretty much stock. Exhaust and intake, but
3 different.
I show you the engine.
Yeah. Mint condition.
I actually think this is one of the best looking engine bays Don't quote me like that, but it actually looks really, really beautiful. Sean did some sketchy tuning over here.
Sketchy tuning. Those are headlights. Xenons.
It's so sketchy,
Xenon
man.
ballast, yeah,
It's so
terrifying.
sketchy.
Yeah, and that's it. We teleport to the next place. Alright, really quick location change. I nearly forgot about 3 cars. 3 very important cars. Actually, 3.5 cars. First of all, Gabriel's X-Class, which is basically Gabriel's work car. And he's also selling it. So if anybody of you wants an X-Class, wie viel möchtest du? Eigentlich möchtest du einen X5 statt das.
Ja, genau, das war am allerliebsten.
Okay, so if you have an X5 and you want an X-Class, just DM Gabriel on Instagram. Then, first of all, this is probably the most important car, and I nearly forgot about it because this is my daily driver. ...2020 Ram TRX, and I have to say I absolutely love this car. It's a bit dirty right now because, as I said, it's my daily driver. Yeah, as you normally do with a daily driver, I daily drive this car everywhere, which is quite an interesting task in Europe, as you can probably imagine, because the roads are kind of tight and kind of sketchy sometimes, but I absolutely love it. It's so comfortable, it looks amazing, and it has so much power. It's absolutely sick. I love it. Sounds jolly. Yeah, the back, as you can imagine, just a bunch of stuff in there. Got some bathrobes, some spiked tires, and some other random stuff, which I don't really know why it's in here. The inside of the car is probably the best feature for me because it's so incredibly spacious. You have so much space here in the back as well. It's basically pretty much just like an S-Class. Let me just show you guys. Yeah, you can easily road trip with like 5 people anywhere where you want. You have a huge panorama sunroof, and the coolest part for me about the interior, down below here, you actually have some mini fridges where you can store cold beverages for longer drives. Pretty cool feature. I love stuff like this, and this car just basically has every small gimmick that you can think of. Front, also the interior is really beautiful designed, I think. I love these red accents everywhere in the car. Steering wheel, half Alcantara, half leather. Already used it quite a bit, as you can see. Seats, also pretty nice. And it's just, all in all, a great place to be in. You have so much room to store stuff in here, so much more room to store stuff in here.
You have room to store stuff in here. You have room to store stuff in here. Room to store stuff in here. Room to store stuff in here.
Ah, my Sonnenbrille. Anyway, sick car. I'm a huge fan. I will always want to own at least one American pickup here in Europe because I just think it's the coolest thing you can daily drive. Oh, and the truck has launch control, which is also pretty nice. Yeah, and if you open up the hood, yeah, you don't really see much, but 707 horsepower out of a supercharged 6.2 liter V8. Und das schaut einfach aus wie ein uralter Motor.
Ist eigentlich ein
Uralter Motor, ja. Aber ist geil. I love this truck, and I've had it for 2 years now. It's time to change it up, I think, for something new. I'm either thinking of getting a newer TRX or a newer Raptor. I don't really know which one of those two, but we're gonna find out. Only thing I did basically to the truck was to get some wider wheels and tires, so we have spaces on there, and the extra lights in the front. But apart from that, the truck is pretty much completely stock, and you don't really need to change anything. It sounds amazing from factory, it looks amazing from factory. Why would you even bother to change anything? And it's so capable of off-roading. I just love it. You can do everything you want with it. I bought this truck for 200,000 euros. It's in Austria. Pretty expensive here, sadly, but in my opinion, it's completely worth it. So, moving on from this and Charlie to probably 2 very interesting cars. This is going to be a surprise for later. This is our latest creation, so to say, the E46 Compact. Otherwise known as Ed, which is the short version of Eddie, because this car is a compact, as you can see from the lovely side profile. We have a little Cosworth spoiler in the back going on, and a 6-cylinder diesel in the front, which, I don't know, the engine is pretty much dead. Und der Reifen vorne ist platt, fällt mir gerade auf.
Wie das Auto von dir. Supra R34 GTR.
Platte Reifen?
Ja.
Perfekt.
Aber das ist der Ed Diesel, oder?
Ed Diesel.
Ja, wie ein Diesel.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what to do with this car. Charlie is actually kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Gonna have to figure out what to do with this car. I actually have to say I love it. I think it looks absolutely sick and it deserves a good engine. So we're still looking for an engine to put in there. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, a lot of work went into this car, believe it or not. Da riecht's immer noch nach Turbo innen drin. We have some bucket seats in here, apart from that, it's pretty much empty. We've still the complete original interior, and the radio even works, which is pretty nice. And yeah, the car is all-wheel drive, so we did an all-wheel drive conversion. So it is kind of a proper rally car, you could say. Motor haben braucht man glaube ich gar nicht mehr, wobei es ist halt einfach ein E46 kompakt, den wir ein bisschen malträtiert haben. Was hat das kostet vielleicht?
Insgesamt,
Ja.
ich glaube, keine 3.000 Euro.
Yep. So pretty low budget, but for that money, I think it was probably the sickest car that you can probably imagine. You have to admit, it looks sick. So some surprise, and this is not only a surprise for me, but also for Gabriel, because Gabriel has never seen what's underneath here. And I also have last seen this car like 2 years ago. And if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you probably know what's hiding underneath all of this. Da ist schon die Wiesen drüber gewachsen. Also ohne Scheiß, ich bin jetzt nervös, weil ich habe Angst, wie er drunter ausschaut. Ich glaube, so ist es noch nie in der Geschichte der Menschheit der Auto einpackt gewesen. Vielleicht ist es gescheiter belassen, wenn man einpackt. Um Gottes Willen. Nein, der war noch nicht so rostig. Ich glaube, das ist eine Umweltgefährdung, dass das Auto da steht. Gottes Willen. Nein,
Willst du die 17?
nein, sonst nein.
Ist das Salz da drin? Oder was ist denn?
Ja, voll, aber das ist gar nicht so deppert mit dem Salz,
Ja.
damit es nicht nass ist. Yeah, by the way, this is Helmut. We bought him 3 years ago in Sweden randomly for 2,000 euros, and we road tripped him back home. But before we did that, we flipped the car on the roof.
Aber schon, wenn es das irgendwo dagegen weitergeht.
So this is why the roof is slightly dented. The car is actually Grand Cherokee All-Race Edition, so they're actually pretty rare, and they have a V8 in them, which is pretty cool. Wow. Ein bisschen schimmelig ist er schon.
Wie bei der Tante von meinem Opa. Aber die ist schon,
Der riecht aber
die ist schon seit 30 Jahren tot.
Like I said, I haven't seen this car in like 3 years, 2 years, I don't know. And I honestly have no idea what to do with this car. If you have any ideas, please, for the love of God, let me know. And if you can help us make it beautiful again, please DM us. I would love to do a project with it, but not in this condition. It's absolutely disgusting. Ich glaube, es ist gescheiter, wir schmeißen ihn einfach weg.
Boah, ist das deppert.
Alter, wenn der jetzt anspringt, dann friss ich an den Besen.
Ja.
So,
Ich hab so viel Spaß mit dem Startbooster.
der war die beste 300 € Investition, die wir jemals gehabt haben. Ich glaube jetzt eigentlich nicht, dass der anspringt. Ja, Helmut ist alive. Jetzt wissen wir, dass er läuft wenigstens, aber was tun wir jetzt damit?
Ich weiß nicht. Irgendwas draus macht, oder?
Ja.
Aber was?
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas, please let me know down in the comments.
Da, 2JC und geht schon immer. Das ist eine gute Idee.
Ja, das war eigentlich witzig. Also, I forgot to film one car back when I was in the US, so you can have that really quick now.
What's up, guys? It's not OG Chafin, and we're here working on the 1970 Firebird. Full welds all around. Willwood's in the back for the E-Hydro from Drift HQ. Obviously, it's a mess in here. We're still working on it. Air conditioning is being charged right now. Just installed a new compressor. We got an LS3 swap in it, nitrous kit. It's got a C6 front subframe with a C6FD angle kit on it.
Yeah, thanks Cello for this beautiful presentation of my Firebird. I have to say I absolutely love this car, and it's probably currently my favorite and also rowdiest car I have. Shout out again to Hobby Shop Garage in Florida for making this possible. And yeah, that was it. That was my entire car collection. Like I said, I have a few more cars coming. I actually just bought one yesterday, so yeah, it doesn't really stop. I have an addiction. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I see you again very, very soon.